Good morning, y'all. It is currently 12:24 p.m., December 19th, 2024, and I'd like to tell y'all a little story about a couple of dreams that I had this morning. I went to bed around 5 o'clock last night, 5 o'clock a.m., and I first remember waking up around 11 o'clock because I remember looking at my phone and it said 11:11, and I didn't remember any dreams at that point. So I put my sleep mask back on, or I didn't put it back on, but I put it on because the sun had risen at that point, obviously. And I went back to sleep. And the first dream that I remember is being at school. Even though the classroom kind of looked like a middle school classroom to me, in this dream, I'm convinced that I was in first grade. The kids around me were in like first grade age. But it's kind of weird though. Somehow I am excused to leave. I think the way that I was thinking about it was kind of like a vacation day from work, except I was already at school, so I should have left and I had the rest of the day off. But I didn't want to leave in the middle of class. So even though I shouldn't have been there, I still stayed, and I was just sitting there in class waiting for the class to be over, which again doesn't really make sense for first grade. That's like a middle school, high school thing where you have periods. But yeah, I shouldn't have been there, so I was just sitting there not really paying attention, waiting for the class to be over. And eventually I got so bored that I was falling asleep, and a couple of the kids were making jokes about, oh, this class is so boring, it's making me fall asleep. And then I just said fuck it and got up and left at some point. And I believe that that's the end of that dream, and this next part is a different dream. But it might be the same dream, just a different dreamscape. I don't really remember the transition. But the next thing I remember is being in another classroom. In the last classroom, I was in the middle, in the back right. I was in the far right, but in the middle, there were kids behind me and 2 or 3 rows of kids in front of me. In this next dream, I was in a different classroom, but it felt like it was in the same school. But this time, I can tell that we're middle school, high school age, somewhere around there, probably around 8th, 9th grade. And I am on the far left side of the class, I don't have any kids to the left of me, and there's one kid in front of me. And in this class, the teacher is playing YouTube videos up on the screen. I can't tell if it's a projection. I think it's a smart board. It's not a TV, but it's a big ass screen that is playing these YouTube videos on. And they're not even educational videos. They're just normal kind of YouTube videos that I would watch. Well, not really necessarily that I would watch, but they're all made by the same person. It's some girl, some high school age girl, and they're vlog style videos of her just talking to the camera. And the first one is about lucid dreaming. She's talking about lucid dreaming, so I'm oh, okay, I'm interested. And then the next ones, I don't remember what they were talking about, but it was something totally random. It was lifestyle type videos, I think. And when it gets to the third or fourth video, I eventually say something to the kid, the girl sitting in front of me. I remember she had blonde hair, but I don't recognize her. Maybe it was a someone that I went to school with, but I don't remember now. I think it was just a random dream character. And I say something, I'm like, I don't remember exactly what I said, but it was something to the effect of, oh, they had me on the first one. Like, I'm interested in lucid dreaming, but these other videos are really boring. And then she looks back at me and she's like, oh, you ain't seen nothing yet. Or she said something like that. I don't remember exactly what she said. And then it's like she knew what video was going to play next. And then she looks back at the rest of the class and she starts like narrating as if she's like a reporter on the scene. And then that's the last thing I remember of that point. Like, my dream recall is still total shit, so I might be like forgetting the transitions. But the next thing that I remember is being in like a neighborhood, like a residential neighborhood. It might be a cul-de-sac. I don't know. I can't remember specifically. I just remember being on the street and there being houses around. And there was a few other people with me, and they were my friends. And I think I did know them from my real life, but I can't remember who they are now. I think my brother might have been there. And somebody busts out a bag of cookies, and he's like, oh, these cookies are so gross. Like, look at this. Like, he can't believe that they are real. And they are peanut butter chocolate chip sour cookies. And that's like right up my alley. I love sour stuff. So I'm like, oh, give me one of those. Let me try that. And the bag, it's like Reese's colored. It's orange and yellow and like brown, like it's those kinds of colors. So I think it's a Reese's cookie. And it says sour on the bag. And there was another word that it said on the bag, because after he like gave me the bag, and I wish I could remember what this word was, but it was like an aha moment. It was like, oh, that's why it's sour, because it's this flavor. And I remember like showing it to him, but I can't remember what the word was now. But I eat the cookie. I take a bite out of it. I eat like half of it in one bite, and it actually tasted how you would imagine a sour peanut butter chocolate chip cookie would taste. It was really soft, and it was actually pretty good. And I was like, dang. I was telling him if I had more of these, I would eat another one. And then I ate the rest of it. And then that's the last thing I remember before waking up. So it's been a while since I've had a school dream. It's kind of nice. More familiar. Obviously you don't know that, but I used to have reoccurring dreams of being in school a lot. So yeah, I think that's about it. Good night and sweet dreams.